Can the Crusaders do it again? Can this legendary franchise defend their Super Rugby Pacific crown in 2026 with a blend of familiar faces and a new wave of impact players? When you look at their squad, you'll see a mix of muscle, skill, youth and experience that keeps the fear factor alive in every opposition camp. The 38-man squad for the 2026 season is ready to go, and there's something thrilling about the balance they've struck between proven winners and hungry young stars desperate to leave their mark. The first thing you'll notice about the squad is the continuity. David Havili will lead the team again as skipper, who's already delivered silverware and commands respect across the dressing room. His leadership is the glue that keeps this group firing, and he'll have the honour of steering Christchurch's transition into the brand new One New Zealand Stadium as well. Every title defence needs calm heads and fierce hearts, and Havili brings both. But if you think this is just the same old Crusaders with a fresh coat of paint, think again. There are ripples of change that makes this version of the Crusaders something compelling. One of the most talked about developments is the partial sabbatical of lock powerhouse Scott Barrett. Known for his physicality, work rate and All Black pedigree, Barrett will sit out for most of the early part of the season, recharging his body and stepping away from the weekly grind, a move similar to that taken of fellow legend Cody Taylor in past campaigns. While he'll still be around the squad environment offering leadership, his absence on the field opens the doors for new names to rise and battle for minutes in the engine room. Just as one of the Giants take a step back, another returns with a thump. Lester Whānuku, after a stint overseas with Toulon, is back in red and black. This is big news. Whānuku's powerful ball-carrying ability to break the line transforms momentum in tight games. For Crusader supporters, seeing him lace up again in Christchurch colours is more than just a sign-on. It's a declaration of intent. This season is also about fresh blood. 6 exciting players have earned a full Super Rugby contract straight from the Crusaders Academy and wider training environment. And that's just not a footnote, it's a trend. Toby Bell has been elevated after proving himself in the development pathways and now looks ready to contribute to the midfield. Louis Chapman now joins the ranks alongside seasoned halfbacks like Noah Hotham and Kyle Preston, bringing energy and quick hands from the base of the ruck. Then there's Liam Jack, a lock with deep Crusaders heritage. His father was a champion in the late 90s, and his uncle was an All Black. Jack's inclusion is the perfect example of rugby tradition passing to the next generation. There's also hooker Manu Mao Letua, a powerful presence in tight quarters and set pieces, and James White, whose footwork and tactical kicking gives coaches options across the backline. And don't overlook Malani Kanawawe. At just 20 years old, this outside back brings a blend of Fijian flair and explosive speed that can flip a game in a matter of seconds. Behind these contracted names is another layered talent ready to step up. The Crusaders have expanded their wider training group significantly for 2026. Now carrying 12 players in addition to the main squad, these players will train with the team, be primed for injury cover and benefit from elite coaching and conditioning. It's a deeper bench, and that depth will be tested over the long season where workloads and fatigue become real variables. So let's talk about experience, because the Crusaders have just thrown youth at a wall. There's still a core of battle-tested performers who know what it takes to win in the Pacific. Cody Taylor in the front row brings grit in, week out. Ethan Blackadder and Cullen Grace are relentless in defence and carry through contact that sets the tone. Will Jordan, one of the fastest finishers in world rugby, is still terrorising defenders out wide. Severu Reese's blistering pace and sidestep create mismatches at every opportunity, and Johnny McNichol's calm head in attack keeps plays ticking over. Noah Hotham brings composure at halfback. He's a young guy calling plays and setting tempo, and his partnership with the fly half options gives the Crusaders tactical flexibility. Revez Reihana and Taha Kimura provide depth at first 5'8", meaning the tactical kicking and game controlling responsibilities can be shared without a drop in quality. They've built a squad where no player feels out of place, and competition for jerseys is fierce. But let's be honest, when you combine this blend of seasoned stars and rising players with the Crusaders' philosophy, relentless defence, precise execution, and a never-say-die attitude, you're looking at a squad that will be at the sharp end of the ladder right through to the finals. There's more of a story here than just names on a sheet. It's a narrative of renewal, continuity, and hunger. And speaking of narrative, 2026 isn't an ordinary season. It's a historical one. After more than a decade at Apollo Project Stadium, the Crusaders will bid farewell to their old fortress and walk into a brand new era at One New Zealand Stadium. This isn't just a big building, it's a modern, fixed-roof venue that will host historical moments and roaring crowds in the heart of Christchurch. For players and fans alike, it's a fresh chapter, a fresh atmosphere, and another layer of motivation to put on performances that echo through this new cathedral of rugby. This new stadium will also host Super Rugby Round in 2026, one of the marquee events of the Super Rugby Pacific season. For the first time ever, Christchurch will welcome all competing teams for one jam-packed weekend of action, celebration and rugby spectacle. Fans from around the Pacific will descend on Canterbury to be part of this massive festival of footy, live music and community spirit. When this happens in round 11 over the Anzac Day weekend, the buzz will be electric, and the Crusaders will be at the heart of it all. What makes this edition of Super Rugby Pacific uniquely compelling isn't just the matches themselves or the new home ground. It's the storylines woven through the squad. You've got rising stars making their mark, established champions defending their legacy, and homecoming heroes injecting black into the engine room. Sure, Scott Barrett's sabbatical means his impact on the field will be delayed, but his influence behind the scenes and the opportunity his absence gives to others makes the narrative rich. Imagine the first time the squad runs out under the lights of One New Zealand Stadium. Imagine the crowd, the anticipation, the thrill of a fresh start. The pressure won't be just on the Crusaders to win. It'll be on them to lead, to defend their title with a new mix of youth and experience, to adapt to a life of new fortress, and to set the tone for 3 decades of Super Rugby celebrating its 30th year. Every big season has its breakout players, those who seize the chance and make the headlines week after week. For the Crusaders in 2026, keep an eye on Maloney, unpredictable bursts from the flank, Louis Chapman's sniping runs and sharp passes, and Liam Jack's physicality and tight exchanges. These are the kind of players who can turn heads and change games. But don't underestimate the reliable core either. Players like Cody Taylor and Will Jordan don't just show up. They influence matches in ways that don't always show on the stat sheet. They bring calm under duress, strategic nous when it matters, and clutch performances when the spotlight burns the brightest. When your squad has that kind of depth, the Crusaders' chances going all the way are very real. So as the 2026 Super Rugby Pacific approaches, this isn't a team to watch, it's a team to follow relentlessly. From the first whistle at One New Zealand Stadium to the final of a playoff match, expect tackles that redefine bravery, tries that reshape momentum, and moments that live in the Kiwi backyards alike. The Crusaders squad has been revealed, and with it comes a season full of potential, pressure, and unforgettable rugby theatre. If you're pumped for the action, if you're excited by the battles ahead, and if you love seeing fresh talent rise alongside established greats, this Crusader squad isn't just news. It's a promise of drama, intensity, and rugby at its finest. Ever wanted to create your own rugby highlights channel just like this one? With my course, the YouTube Creator Toolkit, I show you exactly how I do it, from the tools I use to the templates I built. You get everything. Just copy, paste, and start creating. Learn how to grow your channel, keep viewers hooked, and turn views into income. Click the link in the description below to learn more and start your channel today. Now back to the video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more deep dives, squad reveals, and everything Super Rugby Pacific this season. See you next time. Peace!